Let's see how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah. I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay. Hey. Yeah. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra. Walk with me, you know.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat right now. We got Team AZ, we got Francisco, Jay, Spida, Michael, X. Appreciate you guys for being here. Do me a huge favor, smack up the like button on your way in. We are going to talk about the path to the NFC West for the Arizona Cardinals for the remaining of the 2024 season, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you guys for being here. By the way, let me just do a real quick shout out here to the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan that is helping keeping the lights on here, and obviously, you know, a really good sports book. So let me go ahead and give a shout out here to BetUS. If you're looking for a brand new sports book, BetUS is the way to go. Currently, right now, if you use promo code YouTube150, they will provide you with a 150% sign up bonus on your first deposit and 125% sign up bonus on the following two. That's going to be up to $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150 upon signing up. Of course, bet responsibly and bet within your means. But ladies and gentlemen, we got a show for you guys today. We are going to obviously talk a little bit about Monday Night Football. Thank you, Miami Dolphins, for taking care of business and beating those darn pesky Rams. Now they fall to 4-5. Along with the Seattle Seahawks at 4-5. So it gives us a little bit of a wiggle room, right? It gives us a little bit of a chance to breathe because the Cardinals have a bye week, and it's a good thing to have a bye week because we're getting healthier, but also you're watching the NFC West potentially stacking up wins while you're kind of sitting, right? So there's some pros and cons to obviously the bye week, but yeah. Good thing to happen. Thank you, Miami Dolphins, and for taking them down. This next week, you will have the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Seahawks. So you got another division matchup coming our way. And on top of that, you got the Rams playing the Patriots. So maybe the Patriots can do us a solid. I don't know, right? But what we're going to be doing today, so on top of talking about the Miami Dolphins game, just for a little bit, we're also going to be doing a simulator here that basically kind of puts it all into like a landscape of how the NFC West can be won by the Cardinals, right? So that's what we're going to be doing mainly today. And just a quick reminder, this week, the podcast has been shifted over to 11:15 AZ time, just because I needed to accommodate a couple things that is going on in my personal life. But next week, we will be starting back up at the noon startup time for the podcast here. We try to do it every day. We try to, or at least Monday through Friday, but there's gonna be some days here and there where I'll communicate with you guys here on the what am I trying to say? On the community tab, if it's going to happen or if it's not going to happen. So there is a slight change this week. 11:15 a.m. is when we're going to be doing the start of the podcast here, and then like I said, next week is going to go back to 12. So all right, let's get started here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about obviously not this graphic. This is not what here's what we want to talk about here, ladies and gentlemen. The Rams lose. The Rams lose to the Dolphins. Now, let me ask you guys this in the chat. Who thought this was a surprise? To me, I was surprised that the Dolphins took care of business in the way that they did, right? Because the Rams could not muster a single freaking touchdown in this game. A single touchdown. They were only able to score 6 points in the second quarter, field goal. And then in the fourth quarter, field goal, right? They were not able to match what the Miami Dolphins was cooking up for them, right? And Matthew Stafford had a, pretty good game, 32 out of 46, 293 yards, and an interception. No passing touchdown, one interception. Kyren Williams, on the other hand, was actually held pretty darn good. 15 carries, 62 yards. And then you got Puka Nacua going off for 9 receptions, 98 yards. So that's no surprise there. But to me, hearing or seeing the Miami Dolphins taking care of business only really kind of helped us out tremendously, right? Now, I don't know if you guys have been seeing this graphic here, if you've been following me here on my social media platforms. I have this graphic pretty much everywhere, right? On my Instagram and my Twitter. The full view, it shows the three dragons. It shows the Cardinals as that number one guy. And then number two, you got the San Francisco 49ers. And then you got the end where that little dopey character, look, that dopey, the dopey dragon. And yeah, right now we got the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams right there for the dopey award, right? I guess is the best way to describe it. So, man, it's a good time, man. We haven't been able to do one of these type of videos in a very long time. And I just released my prediction, right? Or my final prediction here midway through the season. And it's actually not midway. It's actually more, we're already past the midway point. But what I'm saying is obviously coming off the bye week. So I already released that video. Appreciate you guys for checking it out if you guys have. But we're going to be doing like a simulation of the path for the other teams, right? Like, are they going to be able to get close to what the Cardinals can muster, right? Because if you look at the schedule for the Cardinals for the remaining 7 games, it doesn't seem that bad at all, right? It doesn't seem that bad at all. So that's what we're going to be doing here today. We got my guy Adrian in the chat says, let's go Dolphins. Cardinals fan says, nope, not surprised. Honestly, the fact that we have the Rams right now spiraling, it's an amazing feeling. It really is. It's an absolute amazing feeling. But all right, let's do this here real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and bring up the simulator so we're all looking at the same thing. What we're going to do is we're going to try to predict what's going to happen for the remaining 49ers schedule and the remaining Rams schedule. And I guess just for, kicks and giggles, I want to say a different word, but kicks and giggles, we're going to do the Seattle Seahawks as well to see what they're going to kind of land at as well. So huge shout out to, I believe the website's called playoff predictors.com. So shout out to them. You do need to go on to their website and, sign up with your email, but that's what we're going to be doing today, right? Mixing it up and just kind of overall having a good time. So appreciate you guys for being here. Can you guys see my screen? You will see some ads on here. I didn't pay for the free version, so apologize about that, but here we go. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at this game, or let's look at the remaining schedule for the San Francisco 49ers first, shall we? Let's do that. Okay, so this is the Cardinals schedule. We already know right now we're 6-4 here, right? You see at the very, very right-hand side, you're 6-4. Let's look at what the 49ers could potentially do here. So the 49ers, they should have lost to the Bucs, man. I'm actually kind of really disappointed the Bucs couldn't take care of business, but I guess I digress. So let's see who else they got going for them. Okay, so next they got the Seahawks. They got the Green Bay Packers. They got the Buffalo Bills. They got the Bears, the Rams, the Dolphins, the Lions, and the Cardinals to end the season off. So let's do a real quick prediction here on what you think the 49ers can potentially do. Obviously, get involved here in the chat as well. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. So let's talk about this first game, right? Week 11. We got the Seahawks versus the 49ers. Who do you guys got? I think we all probably want to say we would love to see the the Seahawks win. I'm sorry, let me reel that back. I think what we would all love to say is that we would love to see the Seahawks win in that game, correct? Am I wrong? Am I wrong, chat? Let me know. But I feel like the 49ers will win this game. I think we're starting to see the downfall of the Seattle Seahawks, which I'm not mad at. I want to pick the Seahawks so bad on this game. I really do, but I don't know. I just don't think it's in them. I think the 49ers will win this game. So, okay, so we got that. We got the 49ers with the win there. Then in week 12, you have them playing against the Green Bay Packers. Now, this is an interesting one, right? Because I believe this is in Lambeau, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is in Lambeau Field here. Let me just confirm here real quick. 49ers. This is the first time I use the simulator, so I apologize. Yes, so it's going to be in Lambeau. Okay, perfect. So, November weather, what do you guys say about this game? Do you think the 49ers win against the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau? Something tells me yes, they will, but the weather can play a factor if to are they going to win it or not, right? So let me take a look at the chat, and let's see what you guys are saying here in the chat right now. 1 second. So you say Packers? Honestly, I think with the weather, there might be a real chance here that the Packers actually do win this game, like truthfully, right? They actually might win this game. So let's go with the Packers, right? Maybe the weather might be too much. So there's the Packers there. the Buffalo Bills. I'm not even going to ask you guys there. I think the Buffalo Bills are a much better team than the 49ers are, or at least as consistent as they come. I'm going to go with the better quarterback personally. I say the Buffalo Bills take this win there. So that puts them at 6-6. Whoa. All right. Well, we're going to get them some wins here. So if there's any 49er fans out there that are upset that I'm giving them all these losses, give me a second here. Let me cook up something. Okay, there you got the Bears. The Bears are going through it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not even going to make this even. I'm going to say the 49ers are going to beat the Bears. I would say the 49ers did lose to the Rams earlier this year, but I do think they'll split it. So I'll give them the win there. The Miami Dolphins and the 49ers. This is going to be an interesting one. What do you guys think about this game? This is going to be in Miami. Does Miami have a surge, right? Maybe they get a surge of life blood in them, right? Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. I still kind of lean 49ers on this one, to be honest with you. I still lean 49ers. I don't believe in the Miami Dolphins. I know they beat the Rams, but the Rams to me aren't the best team out there or in the West. So I'm going to say 49ers. And then this one right here, I'm going to go Lions. I'm not even going to ask. I'm going to say the Lions win this game here. Now, this last game right here, this last game is going to be pretty crucial, right? I'm going to leave this blank right now because I want to go ahead and do the Rams first, and then we'll do the Seahawks, and then we'll go back and revisit that last game because that last game could have a lot of implications here for the Cardinals. Do they play? Do they not play, right? So we're going to go back into that one. So let's do the Rams here real quick. They lost to the Miami Dolphins. They got the Patriots and the Rams here this next week. I know we all want the Patriots to win, right? We all want the Patriots to win, but let's just say we live in a world where the Rams get it right and they get the W there, right? Okay. All right. Then we got the Eagles. The Eagles. I say the Eagles beat the Rams. Like truly, I say the Eagles beat the Rams. What say you guys? That's where my prediction is going here. So now they're 5-7. If you take a look here on the right hand side. So now they got the Saints. The Saints. This is kind of a toss-up to me. I know the Saints can be a good team. We just haven't seen it in a consistent manner. I say, this is a tough one. I'm gonna give it to the Rams. I think the Saints are going through some things right now, but the losses are going to continue. So don't panic. Then we got the Bills. The Bills are going to run through the West. We're going to give the win over to the Bills there. So now they're 6-8. Now they have the Jets. The Jets, I don't know how to even think about it. I know we demolished the Jets ourselves, but the Rams aren't the Cardinals, right? Isn't that crazy? Now we're starting to say things like that. What a crazy world we're living in. But okay, here we are. We're seeing the Jets versus the Rams here. I say I'm going to give a win to the Rams. Because I don't think the Jets are that good. Now we got the Cardinals and the Rams here, right? Cardinals and the Rams. You know darn well if you watch my video, I go ahead and tell us that we're sweeping the Rams. So here we go. Okay. So we got the Cardinals winning on 17, and then you got the Seahawks in the Rams here. I don't think it really matters in this game, to be honest with you. I guess I'll give a win over to the Rams just for them to not lose sleep overnight. So I will have them finishing at 8-9, right? So far, the 49ers are 9-7, and then let's move on over to the Seahawks. And we're just doing this for, like I said, kicks and giggles right now, right? So, all right, we got the Seattle Seahawks. They're playing the Cardinals here. We got to get the win over to the Cardinals. I guess there's no shock there. You got the Jets and the Seahawks here. Do they get it right? This is going to be kind of a tough matchup to decipher. I would say here, I want to pick the Jets. I don't know why. I'm going to go Jets. And then we got the Cardinals and the Seahawks. If you guys didn't watch my video, then I guess you know the reasoning. I'm going to give a win over to the Seahawks. I know. Don't crucify me. I have reasonings. Watch the video if you don't know my reasonings. So I'll give a win over there. I'm not going to say, like, if we sweep the Seahawks, that would be obviously an awesome world. I just want to be a little realistic here, right? So we lose that one, and then they play the Green Bay Packers. That's a loss. The Vikings, that's a loss. The Bears, I'll give them the win there. And then we already decided that the Rams are going to win. So that puts the Seahawks at 6 wins. You got the Rams at 8-9. And now let's go over to the Cardinals, shall we? Let's go over to the Cardinals. So we're already 8-5 with the wins that we already tallied together. Let's go Cardinals here. Let's go Cardinals there. Let's go Cardinals here. And then this is the last game. So take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's say we're living in this world right here, right? Let's say we're living right here. let's say by the time we're heading into the last week in week 18, look at this. The Cardinals are 10-6 and the 49ers are 9-7. Now, can there be a world where the 49ers are 2 games behind? Yes, there can be a world where the 49ers are 2 games behind. Yes. Now, if this is the way that this shakes out, now this is going to be a 2-team race, right? It's going to be either the 49ers or the Cardinals. Now, the tiebreaker is going to be very important, and the division is going to be very important as well, because with how the division is shaking out, if this is the way that it shakes, you better bet your bottom dollar that the Cardinals are going to be playing their starters in this last game, right? Now, if the Cardinals were 11-5 at this point, then I can see a world where we sit our starters, right? I can see a world where we sit our starters. Now, let me figure out, why am I at 11-6 here? 1 second. 49er. Oh, that's why. Oh, I'm silly. Here we go. Oh man, I did a real bad mistake there, ladies. I did a real bad mistake there, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. All right, we're doing this live, so bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, this makes more sense. I was like, wait, what? This doesn't match my prediction in my head. Okay, here we go. Now we're cooking. Now things are making sense now. Okay. So we got the Cardinals are at 11-5. I apologize. 11-5. And then we got the 49ers at 9-7. Originally, I put that the Panthers beat us, and that's a mistake. I completely didn't want to say that. It's the Cardinals winning over the Panthers. So that puts us at 11-5. If the 49ers are 9-7, by the time this week 18 happens, this game might not matter very much, right? Because let's say they beat us, right? Let's say we didn't put our starters in, or let's say that we do put our starters and they beat us. They end off the season at 9-7, at 10-7, where we finish off the season at 11-6. And guess what? We're homebound. We're homebound there, ladies and gentlemen. Do you see the path of what the Cardinals can potentially do to get this done? Now, what did we do to the 49ers here, right? Let's go back to the 49ers, because I feel like they're the team that's going to give us the most competition. I don't believe in the Rams anymore. I used to. I don't believe in the Rams anymore. I think they're going to finish off 7-8 wins, truly. The Seahawks, never believed in them. But let's see what we did to the 49ers to get them to this position, right? We gave them the win against Seahawks, which is this week. We gave them the loss against Green Bay because November weather, it's going to be in Lambeau. So hopefully Packers win there. We had them lose to Buffalo. We had them win against the Bears. We had them win against the Rams. We had them beating the Miami Dolphins, and we have them losing against the Lions. That last game at the bottom in week 18, it doesn't really matter if the Cardinals can take care of business, right? Now, what does the Cardinals taking care of business mean? We got to beat the Seahawks coming off the bye. We got to beat the Vikings, or you lose to the Vikings and you sweep the Seahawks, regardless, right? 3-1, isn't it 3? It's 2-1 coming out the bye is attainable. I really think it's attainable. Then you beat the Patriots, then you beat the Panthers. I don't believe in the Rams. I think the Cardinals will sweep the Rams there. And then this last game, if we can just take care of what we can take care of, I think there's a path here for the Cardinals to win this West. What say you, chat? What say you, chat? What are your guys' thoughts here? We got my guy X saying, I agree, we probably lose to the Vikings. Well, if we lose to the Vikings, then maybe we sweep the Seahawks after all, right? To me, I think what was more realistic to me coming off the bye was us going 2-1, right? If we go 3-0, then my goodness, we are running away with this division. But I want to be a little bit more realistic. I think we might go 2-1 coming off the bye. So that's either lose to the Vikings or we sweep the Seahawks, right? So 2-1, regardless of how you shake it, WWL or WLW, right? I think 2-1 is going to be very, very attainable here for the Arizona Cardinals. So I think the path here for the Cardinals is laid out right in front of us. It's laid out right in front of us for the Cardinals to win this division. Obviously, you need to take care of business, right? Per this simulator, I'm not worried about the Rams. I'm really not. I'm not worried about the Rams. Now, can there be a world where the Vikings start tumbling off and start losing? Maybe, right? Maybe we do see a world where the Vikings start tumbling down and they start losing. Because here's the thing. Let me bring the simulator back up here real quick so we can all be on the same page. Let me bring this back up right here. Here we go. So, like, let's say, for example, right now, the biggest threat that we have going for us is this NFC North right here. Where are they at? Where are they at? Here we go. This NFC North is the best division right now. This NFC North. And being the fact that we were giving wins and losses, this already puts the Vikings at 8-3, right? And the Packers at 8-3. Now, granted, we didn't go through the entire schedule for themselves, but this division is just preventing us from having more teams in the West hitting the playoffs seed, right? Or I think there's only going to be one team. Truly, I think there's going to be one team coming out of the West this year. If there's two, that would be a shock to me. But if there's two teams going into the playoffs from the West, I guess it is what it is. But I think one team is going to be able to do it. And hopefully that's going to be the Arizona Cardinals. So do you see the path, ladies and gentlemen? Do you see the path? Let me go ahead and take a couple comments here in the chat. We got my guy Yes in the chat saying we're going to beat the Vikings. I think so too. I don't know. Like, we just saw Sam Darnold this last week. And the only reason why I paid too much attention to Sam Darnold is because unfortunately my one of my fantasy teams are going through the whirlwind right now. I'm not doing very, very hot on one of my fantasy teams. And I think on another fantasy team, I lost by like 0.1 points, which is absolutely terrible. But the Vikings just barely beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 12-7. And Sam Darnold had a 3 interception game. So there's a path. There's a path here where the Cardinals could potentially beat the Vikings. I know the Vikings do look like a really good team, but hey, the Cardinals right now should be in contention for anything. Like, they should be for anything, man. Anything should be on the table here for the Cardinals. We got my guy Ishmael in the chat saying, I can see us sweeping the Seahawks. They've had trouble stopping the run, which is our specialty. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, exactly. So to me, it's either going to be you win the first game versus the Seahawks, you win the Vikings game, and there's a trap game, so 2-1, or you win this first Seahawks game, you lose, you lose to the Vikings, but then you sweep the Seahawks, right? If you sweep the Seahawks, you're either going 2-1 in my prediction or 3-0, right? I don't think 3-0 is attainable. If it is, then my goodness, I completely underestimated this team. It's truly. But there's a path. There's a path here for the Arizona Cardinals to win this NFC West. And it starts off with, obviously, this next game coming out here in Week 12. So super excited. Super, super excited about that. Gav in the chat says, I'm going to the Cards-Panthers game. Awesome. We'll go have fun. Have fun. Hopefully the Cardinals can take care of business. Hopefully they can. We got my guy Yes on the chat saying 13-21 Colts versus Vikings last week. You really think we can't do better than either team? Come on, man. We are better than the Colts, no doubt. We can beat the Vikings in their own house. I think they can too. Like, the Vikings just beat, like, they just barely beat the Jaguars this last week. They barely beat them. They weren't even able to score a touchdown. They barely beat them 12-7, I believe, if I can remember correctly. And Sam Darnold threw 3 interceptions. I think Sam Darnold's coming back to earth, if I can be frank. So I don't think the Vikings are too bad, but I also don't think they're too great either, right? Their schedule or their prediction, or what am I trying to say? I'm sorry, their record right now is really, really good, right? Because they got a good defense. They got a very good defense over there. I just don't believe in Sam Darnold. If you can make him see ghosts, I think there's a path. There's a path here. There really is. Alexis says Vikings fell off. Love to see it. Vince says we are cooked versus the Vikings. Really? So okay. I guess not so positive in the chat, or a couple people not so positive in the chat about the Vikings matchup. I don't know. I think we'll match up very well. Yes says Kyler is not a young QB. He's a vet. That's the truth. He's already a veteran. All right. Super chat coming in here from Iron. What's up, Iron? Appreciate the super chat, my guy. Let me get you a DJ Airhorn. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much for that. He says this: if the Cards want to make a path into the playoffs and to the Super Bowl, woo! Here we go, Iron. Let's let Iron cook. Give everybody chill. Let's let Iron cook. Give me a second. Playoffs and to the Super Bowl, they have to play every game as if they were a I can't read. They have to play every game as if it were a Super Bowl. 11 more Super Bowls to go. Woo! Woo! You're already including the playoff games in there, huh? I love it. I love to hear it. Well, I mean, you're right. I think when it comes down to it, Cardinal fans, we can talk about this, right? Like, there is a level of excitement amongst the air that we haven't had in a very long time. And I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen, I was making this video. I was making this video this morning, and I really thought to myself, I said, man, the last time we made a season prediction for the second part of the season, the last time we did this was 2 years ago in 2021 when we were a very, very good team with Kyler Murray at one point being undefeated, right? Now, obviously, that kind of unraveled, and we knew how that season turned out. But the last time we were able to do a season prediction in the second part of the season was 2 years ago. Like, that's crazy. It's crazy. But it's just where we were at, right? Then we had to deal with the last year of Cliff Kingsbury, then the first year of Jonathan Gannon, but we're starting to trend in the right direction. But you're 100% right. Us Cardinal fans, I think it's okay to talk about this, right? And I know there's some people out there being like, "Oh, you're gonna jinx it. You're gonna jinx it." I don't believe in jinx, to be honest with you, but this team right now, I have the faith and the confidence that they know what's in front of them, right? They know what's ahead of them. They know what's ahead of them. They know that if there's a team like the Panthers or like the Patriots that you got to win those games, right? I have the faith and the confidence that they can do it. I believe in Jonathan Gannon. I believe in Kyler Murray now. I believe in everything that's been happening within these last 4-game winning streak. I believe in their message. Let's just keep it cooking. Let's see exactly what happens here. So I'm super, super excited about it. Super, super excited about it. Appreciate the $5 donation. Thank you so very much, Iron. And I 100% agree. They got to treat every single game like it's their last game, right? Or like the Super Bowl. You're 110% right. Professor Martin with the super chat. Back-to-back super chats, man. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so very much for your contributions. Professor Martin says this: Justin Jefferson makes me a little nervous, but I have confidence in this young defensive back core. So DB core, go Cardinals. I agree with you. I think Justin Jefferson makes a lot of people kind of worried, right? And that team offensively is actually pretty good in terms of weapons, right? They got Aaron Jones. They got Jordan Addison, right? They got obviously Justin Jefferson. They got good players. They really do. They got really good players over there for the weapons. And I think TJ Hawkinson's back as well. So it's not going to be an easy matchup, right? I think the Cardinals might have a tough go at potentially beating that Brian Flores defense. They might. But I do have confidence in what we've seen from this Cardinals defense these last 2 games. Nick Rallis has made Aaron Rodgers. Now, granted, it's not the Aaron Rodgers of old, right? It's not MVP Aaron Rodgers, but Nick Rallis and his defense has made him look very, very bad this last year, right? Or this last game. And the same thing with Caleb Williams, right? This was the start of the end of the Chicago Bears. Are we going to start seeing them unravel? Well, guess what? They just fired our offensive coordinator. Sorry, let me rephrase that back. They just fired their offensive coordinator in Shane Waldron earlier this morning. So things are going down in Chicago right now, and a lot of people are pointing the fingers. And I'm just glad that we're not here. Like, seriously, I'm just glad that we're not here because I remember those times a little too closely. We're a winning team. We got a winning organization right now. We can talk about November football, and it's such a beautiful time to be alive. Appreciate you, Professor Martin. Thank you so very much for the super chat. You are 100% correct. I am a little worried about Justin Jefferson as well, specifically because we do got a young cornerback core. Who else agrees with this? Bench Sean Murphy Bunting. Does anybody else agree with that? Bench Sean Murphy Bunting. I think it's time to start seeing these younger guys. Give Max Melton more of an opportunity. Give him more time to potentially get more reps. Does anybody agree with that message? I know that Sean Murphy Bunting was active this last time around. Let me see what his snap count was for week 10. So Sean Murphy Bunting was actually on the field for 67% of the snaps. Oh, but guess what? Okay. Check this out here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So who was the cornerback? Quick little trivia. Who's the cornerback that was most on the field this last week? Starling, Garrett, Sean, or Max? Who was the most who had the most snaps cornerback wise? Quick little trivia. Let me know here in the chat and I'll give you the answer right now. It's actually Garrett Williams. Garrett Williams had 86% of the snaps. Garrett Williams. Let's go. Love to see it. Okay, so Garrett Williams, 86% of the snaps in week 10. Starling Thomas the fifth, 71% of the snaps in week 10. Sean Murphy-Bunting, 67% of the snaps. And then Max Melton, 62% of the snaps. So it's not like it's 80% Sean Murphy. I think they're trying to bring him back. But I think it's kind of time to start seeing what our young guys can do. And that's Max Melton. Here we go. Professor and Iron with the back-to-back. My goodness. Back-to-back super chats from the first two super chatters. Appreciate you guys. All right, let's start off here with Professor Martin. He says, can we imagine a Week 18 49ers versus Cardinals fighting for the division? I can imagine it. But the way that we broke down in the simulator that we were using a little earlier, the way that we broke it down, it might not matter in the last game. The schedule for the 49ers is a tougher schedule than the Cardinals. It's a tougher schedule. It really is. So it can, right? It can happen to where that last game is going to fight for the division. I'm excited for it either way. Regardless, I'm excited for it either way. But yeah, I can imagine it. Man, gets me pumped up. Iron with another super chat. Appreciate you guys. He says, I was so impressed with the Jets game. Multiple 3-and-outs where Trey, Benson, etc. clawed and fought as if their life depended on it and got the first. Man, you got to give love to this team. You really do. You really got to give love to this team because this Arizona Cardinal team right now, and it's crazy because Trey Benson, how many people remember all the videos that we were posting or all the videos you saw on YouTube recommendations about Trey Benson, right? Oh my God, the Cardinals hit a home run, right? The Cardinals, but like the first several weeks, a lot of people reached out to me and said, Trey Benson's not that good. But I'm like, it's opportunity. He's not getting the opportunity. Once he starts getting into the groove and starts getting a bulk of the snaps, and I'm not saying like more than James Conner. No, I'm just saying at least 20, 30% of the snaps, you will see what Trey Benson can potentially do. So there was some people reaching out to me because I was really hyping up Trey Benson a lot in this offseason. I was really excited about what he could do, but people were like 4 weeks in saying he hasn't done anything. He hasn't looked good. He hasn't been explosive hitting the holes. But guess what? Now Trey Benson is averaging about 25% of the snaps now, right? And that started in week 9 and in week 10. 25% of the snaps is what he's averaging. If we see that dosage of him, I think you'll start seeing what I was seeing in the tape, right? Seeing what I was seeing in Florida State. So I'm excited about what Trey Benson can do, right? I think he is the future. Now, obviously, James Conner right now is the number one running back for the Cardinals, but there is a path where maybe, just maybe, Trey Benson could be the future for the Arizona Cardinals at the running back position. Couple different things I need him to work on, and I think he's already worked on it since this last, 3 or 4 games that we've seen him. But my main criticize on him, or my main critique is the best word, my main critique on him in the first 4 or 5 weeks where we saw him here and there, he just wasn't hitting the right holes. He was a little hesitant, but get him more in the groove, get him more reps, get him more comfortable in this offense, and I think everything will figure itself out. So far it's looking really good. We got Sarah in the chat. What's up, Sarah? Sarah says Vikings and Packers have the easiest schedules. Yeah. And that's why I keep harping the fact that if there's one, like I still think there's going to be one team, only one team in our division to make it to the playoffs. I think there's going to be one team, maybe 2, definitely not 3. We're not the NFC best anymore. That's for darn too. We're not the NFC best anymore. But if the Cardinals can take care of the business, not the business, business, I do think that maybe in that last game, if the Cardinals decide to sit their players because they don't need it, we could live in a world that happens. Or we can have a Week 18 showdown. We're fighting for the division. And either way, I think a lot of us would be very, very excited about how this season started. Will we be heartbroken if we miss the playoffs? Yeah, we will be heartbroken. But honestly, if you're looking at the season as an entirety, that's a massive win, right? That's a massive win. So I'm excited. Should we be cheering on the Seahawks this weekend? Yes, we should. We should be cheering on the Seahawks, and we should be cheering on the Patriots this weekend because the Patriots take on the Rams, and then you got the Seahawks versus 49ers. So yes, if there's any teams you want to vote or cheer on this weekend, Seahawks and the Patriots. That's who you need to vote, cheer on for sure. Can both the Niners and the Seahawks lose, please? Can they do a tie? Can a tie still be attainable? Maybe, right? Maybe. Ivan, what's up, Ivan? He says extend Buddha for 4 more years. And that should be a thing that we should be talking about a lot more on this channel, which unfortunately there's just a lot more storylines that take up more time, right? In terms of like, we should be talking about it more though. You're 100% right, Ivan. The whole Buddha Baker thing, extend him. Extend him. Like, seriously, like, we need to make a video primarily about Buddha Baker and what he's done for the Cardinals so far. They need to extend him. They really do. They really, really do. Or are you saying they? No, I don't think you're saying they extended him. No, they didn't. Okay, cool. Yeah, it probably won't happen until the off season, if it were to happen. If the Cardinals were, I think the off season, but you got to bring them back. I think they're one of those players, right? Buddha Baker is one of those players that you got to bring back. Like, you got to. Yo, check this out. Here, I'm going to share my screen real quick, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to share my screen real quick. 1 second. Oh, check this out. All right, we got the Arizona Cardinals saying, don't make K1 mad. Noted. Check this out here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's watch this together. Come on.
I'm good.
Takes his play
that
action.
hit was gnarly. Okay, let's restart it. That hit was gnarly.
I'm good.
Takes his play action, a boot to the left, and Murray gonna keep it. He walks into the end zone for a touchdown.
All right, let's pause it there. I don't want to get demonetized here, but man, oh man, don't make K1 mad. Love to see it. That hit when we were doing this live play-by-play on here on YouTube, we all were like, oh my God, that hit. We felt it as Cardinal fans. We're like, oh my goodness, geez. That was a big, impactful hit. You haven't seen one of those hits in a very, very long time. But obviously, after that hit from K1, getting hit by the Jets defender, it didn't miss a beat. Didn't miss a beat. You might be right. Unfortunately, you might be right. I'm still, when it comes down to Tua, I'm still hoping and praying that he makes it through the season unconcussed. Like, I really do fear his health. Like, I really do. Obviously, it's his decision at the end of the day, and I think everybody's going to respect his decision. But yeah, I fear it. I really do. DL says, take all the money we have left under the cap and give it to Buddha as an extension. I mean, yeah. You're not going to say anything. I mean, we're going to have a lot of money next year. That's probably what they're waiting for. Or they're waiting for the offseason, right? They're waiting for the offseason to extend them. But I feel like that should be the number one thing the Cardinals should be focusing on right now. The number one thing is what Ivan said earlier. You got to extend Buddha Baker. This guy is still playing lights freaking out. Lights out. Lights out. You got to extend him. My guy X in the chat, yes. And he's talking about that hit that K1 got. He came up smiling. He came up smiling. And he says, oh, I'm good. Yeah. Oh, no. He was good. Oh, he was good. All right. Yeah, he was good. Yeah. And here's the crazy thing. We're seeing Kyler Murray, 2021 Kyler Murray. That's what we're seeing right now. We haven't seen this in years, right? Now, not his fault, right? Obviously, the last year of Cliff, we all know what happened there. And then the first year of Jonathan Gannon, only played the last 8 games. Still trying to get comfortable with his legs. And now we're kind of starting to see this offense flow what 2021 Kyler was doing, right? It's a beautiful place to be. It's a beautiful place to be. Let me just say that right now. Is it Xaverio? Says, bro didn't miss his single pass after that hit. Yeah, no, he did not miss a single. Yeah, 100%. Yes, in the chat says, Dortch, I think, needs a new opportunity elsewhere. Sadly, we need another Wilson at receiver. I mean, what do you guys think of our wide receiving core right now? Let me be the first to say this here real quick. Let me see real fast. I want to bring up the snap count here. What is Dortch playing right now? Is Greg Dortch playing a lot of snaps right now? Oh, man. I don't know if you're going to like to see this, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you're going to like to see this, but Greg Dortch looks to be getting phased out a little bit. And I guess phased out seems to be, it's a harsh terminology. I don't mean it to be mean, right? But I think with Zay Jones coming back, you're starting to see a less amount of times that we're seeing Greg Dortch on the field. Let me share my screen with you. Let me show you what I'm looking at here real quick. Okay, check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, shout out here to the football guys that do give us these snap counts. They do a great job in obviously keeping us entertained and involved. But check this out. Greg Dortch in the beginning of the season, 61% of the snaps, 35, 66, 73. And then look at this. Once you start seeing Zay Jones in week 7, the decrease started to happen. In week 10, he only played 15 snaps, 25% of them. And then you had Zay Jones, 39%. Whoa. I don't know. I mean, right now we got Dortch for what? Didn't we sign up for like a 1-year deal? Let's take a look here. I don't know what Greg Dortch's contract is, to be honest with you. I mean, if he does get an opportunity elsewhere, I mean, he's only signed to this year only in 2024, and it's a really cheap deal. It's like $1.1 million. Cap hit was like less than $1 million. Yeah, we're starting to kind of see him get, I don't want to say phased out because it looks like it sounds bad, but we're kind of starting to see a decrease in his play with Zay Jones coming back. So that's interesting. Great call out. My guy in the chat here earlier said, yeah, he might have an opportunity elsewhere. I don't know. I was really high on Greg Dortch. I really was. I was excited about Greg Dortch potentially taking off this year. And then taking off this year, I'm not saying over 1,000 yards, but I was saying at least like 600, 700 yards. I was hoping that we were going to see Greg Dortch hit something like that. But I mean, you can't really blame him too much. Obviously, it's all opportunity. And right now, what his stats look like for the 2024 season so far, he's got 187 yards right now, 1 touchdown. 22 receptions, 187 yards, 1 touchdown. That's it. Let's take a look at Marvin Harrison Jr. real quick. And then we'll bring up Michael Wilson as well. All right, so Michael Wilson right now, he's got 30 receptions, 307 yards, 3 touchdowns. And then Marvin Harrison Jr., obviously our GOAT, 33 receptions, 499 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Yo. Can somebody, like, I still don't get the hate from Marvin Harrison Jr. I really don't. I get you didn't want to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. Some people out there that wanted to get Joe Old. Come on, but give the kid an opportunity. This guy's cooking up. I think he's like top 10 in the amount of receiving touchdowns in the league right now. Like, you got to give credit, man. It's amazing. What he's doing right now is amazing. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens with Greg Dortch. I was very high in Xavier Weaver. I was very high in Xavier Weaver when we got him undrafted in this last year. Will he? I don't know. I mean, I guess that's a question that we're going to have to wait and see how it all shakes out, right? We're going to have to wait and see. But yeah, well, we're starting to see a decrease in play time, right? For Greg Dortch within these last several weeks, especially when Zay Jones has come back. What's up, Ivan? Ivan says he has a role in this offense, but this offense is a run game and keep improving. His role will be more exclusively featured. I mean, yeah, that might be the case. Yeah, I mean, keep in mind too that like our main wide receiver, our number 1 wide receiver right now, is 1 yard away from 500 yards, right? Like but here's the thing too. Like, what other team has a Trey McBride? Think about it that way too, right? Think about it that way, because when you think of like offense, you think of obviously wide receiver weapons, right? People don't really think about, oh, you got a great tight end like Trey McBride. Guess what? Trey McBride right now, ladies and gentlemen, 49 receptions, 552 yards. 552 yards. Trey McBride is the best receiving weapon we have right now in terms of production, right? Obviously, I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to blossom into that great guy that we all need him and want him to be. But right now, Trey McBride is leading this receiving core I don't want to say wide receiving core, but weapon core. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Weapon core, right? Trey McBride right now at 552. So when you think of offense, you think of wide receivers. Who else has a Trey McBride? Nobody does. We got a Trey McBride, lady. We got the Trey McBride. So yes, Greg Dortch might be not a big production, but you also don't have a Marv. You also don't have a Michael, which I still do think he's going to be a solid number 2 wide receiver for us. And then obviously Trey McBride. He's getting a dosage, man. A dosage of playing time and production with the ball getting thrown his way time in and time again. So, yeah. Not everybody's going to get 500 plus yards. It's the way the cookie crumbles. We are a run-heavy team. It's being ran by James Conner. That's what it is. And hopefully we're starting to see that sprinkle in of Trey Benson, which we're starting to kind of see more and more and more. So love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. I think I need to update my those emojis that the channel members are able to use. I need to update those because I don't have a Trey McBride sticker for you guys to use. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I gotta update that. I gotta make sure I put a Trey McBride sticker on there so we're able to use that here in the chat for all those channel members here that obviously pay monthly for it. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna close up shop. I hope that you guys are truly appreciating these podcasts, these interactive chats, these interactive shows, right? Hopefully you do. If you do me a huge favor, smack up that like button. It's easy. Just look down. There is that little like or dislike button. Smack it up, ladies. Just smack it up. That tells me that you like what we're doing here on this channel. We're trying to do these Monday through Friday. There's going to be a couple days that we don't during the week, but in this week, we're going to go live at 11:15, and then we're going to go back to the regular programming, which is going to be at 12 noon next week, and hopefully for the remaining of this season, as long as, everything kind of works out for us personally. So, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be closing up shop right here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. All the super chatters, obviously Iron, Professor Martin. Thank you, everybody. Everybody who's a channel member. I just realized this is when people are starting to become channel members as well. Thank you. Everybody who smacked the like button, everybody who just engages in the chat, everybody who watches the videos that we posted, the notified squad or the noti squad, however you guys call yourself. Thank you, everybody. It's absolutely been a pleasure speaking to everybody here week in and week out, or day in and day out. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in as always. It's always been a pleasure speaking to every single one of you guys. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, go Cardinals.